Alright guys, so WrestleMania 35 has just finished. From my memory, that's the longest WrestleMania in history. It lasted almost 7.5 hours, including the pre-show, and that is just far too long. You'll be lucky if this review lasts more than 7.5 minutes, because I am absolutely fucking knackered. This show has almost put me to sleep, and I feel like I could drift away at any moment. I don't have my mic plugged in because it's upstairs, and like I said, after watching this show, the last thing I feel like doing is walking up a flight of stairs to go and grab a mic. So you're gonna have to deal with the shite audio. But hey, at least the shite audio will match the shite WrestleMania. So this show was pretty. It was pretty bad. Let's be honest. I don't know if it was the worst Mania of all time because, in my opinion, the last couple have been atrocious. But it might well be. I would have to rewatch WrestleMania 34, 33, and to compare them, and I don't have any plans of doing that. I don't. I'll never watch this WrestleMania again. I'll probably never even watch a match. I will probably watch just one, probably one clip that I will watch from this show, and I will discuss that when we get to it. So before we talk about the matches, the results tonight were shocking. I mean, absolutely shocking. I know everyone's got their favourites. I know everybody has certain people they want to win, but from a logical storyline sense, even though WWE don't have storylines, it's just match after match after match. But from a business standpoint, a storyline standpoint, and there's certain people that should go over and certain people who shouldn't go over, and tonight they got it all wrong. I would say they only probably got about two or three results correct in my opinion. And with that said, let's get into the show now. If I do skip a few matches, it's because they weren't memorable, and I forgot they've happened. So pre-show we had, what was the first match of the pre-show? God damn it! I think it was the Women's Battle Royal, which Carmella won. There's no real right or wrong winner. I mean, you could probably pick Carmella, Asuka. Carmella wins. Who cares? Tag team titles. The Revival are shit, so I'm glad they lost. I mean, Zack Ryder has been jobbed out. Really, the guy had so much momentum back at the end of 2011, but he obviously WWE stopped that, and then Kurt Hawkins is, since he came back, he's done nothing but lose. And then these two guys get a win at Mania, so I mean, realistically, if you've lost almost 300 matches, you should be nowhere near WrestleMania. How the fuck's this Kurt Hawkins guy got a match at Mania? Albeit pre-show, but come on, let's make sense of it. I mean, if you think about UFC or something, right, or for boxing, see if you'd lost 300 matches in a row, do you think you'd be fighting on like some huge card, some mega card? No, you'd be lucky if you were getting hired by bloody, some underground boxing thing. You just would not be at the grandest stage. So why Kurt Hawkins is at the grandest stage, I don't fucking know. But anyway, Hawkins and Ryder won. I guess I'd take them over the Revival. So that is what it is. The men's battle royal, Strowman won this. No surprise, absolutely no surprise whatsoever. I almost bet my life on Strowman winning that. So it is what it is. Also in the battle royals, they had like everyone come out together to like WrestleMania music, and then they kept like the last two or three people, and they had individual entrances. And to me, I just don't understand this, man. They had 7.5 hours. The pre-show's 2 hours fucking long. They definitely had enough time to give each person like 10-second entrances of their own. I mean, what were they trying to do? Like, they were trying to save as much time as possible. I just don't understand it. I mean, why people couldn't get their own entrance. If you come out together and then someone's coming out after you, I mean, it just makes you look like an absolute jobber. So, it is what it is. Right, we move on to the main show. Alexa Bliss comes out. She says every time she clicks her fingers, something magical's going to happen. Clicks her fingers. Hulk Hogan comes out. From what I can tell, he got a lot of cheers. He deserves the cheers, but I'm surprised, to be honest. I thought he would have got a mixed reaction because you've still got a lot of bloody lefties that are, you know, raging that he used the N word fucking like 15 years ago or some shit. Nigger, there, I've just used it. So you're going to hate me like you hate Hogan. Absolutely ridiculous. Hogan's a legend. I'm glad that he's back. Did look a bit skinny, I will say that, but I mean, the guy is getting like into his late 60s, so what do you expect? We had Paul Heyman walk out. He turned around and says, if you're not on first, if you're not on last, you may as well be on first or some shit like that. So he wanted to get out of here as fast as possible. Brock Lesnar comes out, beats the shit out of Rollins, ends up getting low blowed 3 curb stomps, and Seth Rollins is your new champion. Embarrassing. I mean, a guy like Seth Rollins could never beat a guy like Brock Lesnar, and I'm just sick of these Brock Lesnar matches. Like, why can't he just have a normal like match? Why does it always have to be he batters somebody and then they come back and normally he kicks out and still wins, but tonight he just got battered, so he got jobbed out. Is this the end of Brock Lesnar? I think so. The way he lost, like, convincingly, I think he's gone. I mean, if he was going to stick around, I think they would have put on a better show. The fact that they had him come out first in the match, like, barely lasted, what, it seemed like 5 minutes. I think that is Brock Lesnar gone. I'm not going to rate the matches. A lot of them weren't worth rating. I will, obviously, if a match was good, I'll say it was good. This match was not good. It was terrible, as was the result. Up next with Shane and The Miz. This is a pretty interesting brawl. They went all through the crowd, all through the arena. There were some decent spots. This was good. Shane battered Miz's dad, which was good. I think this was one of the best matches of the night. But the problem is, Shane McMahon won. Shane McMahon should not be winning. He is a authority figure. He's not a full-time wrestler. He's already won the best in the world thing, and he did not need this win. The Miz, who is a full-time wrestler, did need this win. Now, you could argue maybe they're not done here. Maybe they'll have another match and The Miz will win. But to me, that is stupid. This is WrestleMania. Do you know what I mean? This should end all the feuds. Everything after WrestleMania should go in a fresh direction. I think Money in the Bank's the next pay-per-view up. We don't want to see Shane versus Miz at Money in the Bank. Do you know what I mean? This should have ended it, and therefore the Miz should have beat Shane. Simple as that. I believe up next it was a women's tag match. Fucking hell. Nia Jax, it looked like fucking SeaWorld had mixed with Victoria's Secret or something. She was wearing a bloody dress earlier on, and then she came out with some awful attire. I mean, I don't know why she just doesn't lose weight. I mean, she's pretty, she's pretty nice looking. Definitely better looking than like that monkey Sasha Banks, but it is what it is. Bret Hart accompanied Natalya and Beth Phoenix to the ring, and then Renee Young was talking about how Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Natalya all inspired Beth Phoenix to become a wrestler. Funny that, because I'm pretty sure Beth Phoenix was, wrestling before she seen Natalya. She was already in WWE before Natalya got to WWE, so I don't know what Renee Young's smoking there. She might be smoking hot, but she is the worst commentator that we've ever seen in WWE by none. And I thought Mike Adamle was bad, but she's 10 times worse. Up next, we had, bear with me, it was not memorable, so obviously I'm struggling to think what it was. It might have been the 4-way SmackDown tag match. The Usos versus The Bar versus someone else. Nakamura, Rusev versus Black and Ricochet. I mean, why are Black and Ricochet a tag team? Makes no sense. Just chuck these two guys together. They're getting tag shot after tag shot after tag shot. This was their third tag team title shot, right? In the space of a week, and they lost it. So what's that say about them? Why, if they've lost 2 title shots in the space of a week, why are they getting a third at Mania? You know what I mean? It makes no sense. To be at Mania, you're supposed to be the best. You know what I mean? To win title shots, you're supposed to earn them. They've already lost 2 title shots and they're getting another one at Mania. Fucking zero sense. The Usos won. It is what it is. After that, we had, what did we have? What did we have? Was it another match, or was it, don't know. Yeah, it was Rey Mysterio. He jobbed out to Samoa Joe. Why? I'm not too sure. I think it's because of the injury, but this just made Mysterio look bad, and it was just a waste. They should have had a substitute for this, or I don't know, just not have it. I mean, would anyone have been pissed off if they never seen Samoa Joe compete, or you know what I mean? And I don't know, could have had Samoa Joe maybe defend his title tomorrow or Tuesday night on SmackDown in the main event, had a match to make up for it. But this was awful. Rey Mysterio had like a quick flurry of offense at the beginning, then about 30 seconds later he's in the Kikida clutch and he got beat. So that's what it is. Up next, worst result of the night, Kofi Kingston beating Daniel Bryan. Kofi Kingston was called in the build up to this a B+ player, and that's been very generous. This guy is a D, E, F, G. There's not enough letters in the alphabet to describe what this guy is. He is not a main eventer, never mind deserving of a world title shot. Never mind winning the world title. I mean, absolutely embarrassing. Who's going to be world champion next? Mustafa Ali? Fucking someone like Drew Gulak? I mean, come on, who's going to be next? If Kofi Kingston can win it, I mean, who is going to be next? Absolutely embarrassing. So Brian lost, and then at the end, they celebrate it with Kofi's kids. His son looks like an absolute mongoloid, but that's another story. Best part of the show up next. We had the return of John Cena. He interrupted an Elias concert. He came out, cut a promo on Elias. He returned as the Doctor of Thugonomics. And you know what? John Cena actually looked young here. Well, he obviously had the cap on because he was the Doctor of Thugonomics. And in the past few times he's been in WWE, he's had the hair grown out and he's just looked old. He really has looked old. But I honestly think with the cap, I don't know if he's cut his hair again or what, but with the cap, he looked a lot younger. And, this looked more like, I'm not saying it looked like, 2003 Cena, but he definitely didn't look any older here than that time when he was, feuding with The Rock, and he dressed up as the Doctor of Thugonomics, and he came out, so this looked more like 2012, 2013 Cena. It definitely didn't look like the Cena that we've seen over the past year or so hopefully Cena keeps this look, hopefully he comes back, but you know what, I can't see it. I think we'll be lucky if we see Cena before SummerSlam. Who knows, we might not even see Cena before next year's WrestleMania, which would be sad, but to me this was the best part of the show. He had some really good lines, and it's definitely a moment that is rewatchable. So after this, we had Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. Another result that, in my opinion, they got wrong. They got wrong big time. Roman Reigns coming back for cancer. The guy wasn't 100%. The guy's obviously a lot thinner than he was, and he still beats Drew McIntyre. If Drew McIntyre can't beat, a Roman Reigns affected by cancer, how would he ever beat a fully fit 100% Roman Reigns? The answer is he wouldn't. So it's like Drew McIntyre seemed to batter Reigns for most of the match, and then he slapped him, and the slap seemed to awake Roman Reigns. It annoyed Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns just kind of squashed Drew McIntyre in the next 2 minutes. So that was pretty pish. A very forgettable match. It was probably one of the matches I thought would have been better on the card, but it was poor. Up next, with Dave Bautista versus Triple H. Arguably the best match, probably my favourite match of the show. It was fun, it was entertaining, with an appearance for Ric Flair. And I tell you what, man, for Batista, for a guy that's hardly wrestled at all in the last decade, and for Triple H, who has just been on and off really a couple of times a year at the most, and a guy that's just returned from injury, these guys worked a very good match. It was pretty long. I think it was one of the longest matches of the night. Had some really good spots as well, and they didn't really gas, and I think a lot of people were kind of expecting them to gas both Triple H and Batista. I don't think people, it just goes to show you got like a Goldberg and Brock Lesnar could only do a 5-minute match at Mania, and then you got Batista and Triple H do a 20+ minute match. So it just goes to show. I hope Batista signs a deal. I'd like to see Batista stick around. The guy's actually a star, but again, WWE's pish. He's too busy in Hollywood. I don't think we'll see Batista again. I'm not saying he'll never win a match, but I think we could go years without seeing him returning. Is what it is. After that, we had, I don't even know what we had after that, man. I think the show lost my interest after that. There was something that I can't remember, and then we had Finn Balor defeating Bobby Lashley. Embarrassing. He came out as a demon, but who cares? What is the demon? A little bit of face paint and some ribbons on his shoulder. I mean, that shouldn't be enough to beat a fucking machine like Bobby Lashley. And then in the main event, this match should never have been main event to begin with, but they put it in the main event for 2 reasons. One, because they have Ronda Rousey, and she's 10 times the star that anyone else on the female roster is. And obviously, the whole female equality, they wanted to pander to that. So they put this in the main event, and it did not deliver. The entrances were pretty cool. Ronda Rousey came out to Joanne Jett live. Charlotte came down from a helicopter. Becky Lynch was just Becky Lynch. But the match ended in a roll-up, and it's just absolutely pathetic for a WrestleMania main event to end in a roll-up. Right, obviously you can tell my dog wasn't impressed with Mania either. It was crap. But anyway, like I said, the main event to end in a roll up is embarrassing. You know, Ronda Rousey went her entire career undefeated without losing to anybody, and then she ends up losing to a roll up. I mean, you're supposed to make the first defeat of Ronda Rousey mean something. This made everyone look weak. Do you know what I mean? So what? I mean, Becky Lynch just ended up defeating, Ronda Rousey, but it was a roll up. It was a fluke. You should have made the first time that Ronda Rousey tasted defeat. It should have meant something. She should have either tapped out or been pinned. I think she should have won the match. But if you're gonna, if they were going to go down this route, you would roll up Charlotte Flair. Why the fuck would you roll up, Ronda Rousey? It's embarrassing. It really is. I mean, they could not have got this any more wrong. So I don't know. Unless they go down the route where they play it as a fluke and they have a rematch between Becky and Ronda. I don't know. They could do that, but they didn't necessarily have to go down this route. If they wanted to do that, they could have had, Becky beat Charlotte, and then Ronda could have said, "Well, look, you won, but you didn't beat me." So I just don't understand why they went for this. This match was alright, but I mean, the finish is just embarrassing. You think of all the great finishes. You think the best WrestleMania of all time. You think of Austin, teaming up with McMahon, hitting stunners on the Rock, beating the shit out of him with a chair, then pinning him, and then shaking hands with McMahon. You compare that to this, and it's well, what can you say, guys? What can you say? Wrestling's dead. It is fucking dead. But I sat up, I watched this shit, 7.5 hours that I'll never get back, and I've gave you like over a 10-minute review, so you can't complain. I am shard. I am going to go and get to bed now, get some sleep. But there you go, guys. That's my WrestleMania 35 review. Was it the worst pay-per-view of all time? No. But it wasn't good. And, a great promo from Cena. Good match with Batista, Triple H. Apart from that, wasn't much else. So that's it, man. Let me know what you think down below. And until next time, peace.